Hello, everyone, and welcome to the June 2021 installment of How to Leverage the NRMN Network webinar series. My name is Gabrielle Sala, and I'm a digital communication strategist for the National Research Mentoring Network. Just so you all know, this webinar is now being recorded and will later be posted to NRMN's YouTube channel. We will leave time for a Q&A session at the end of this webinar, so please put any questions you may have into the chat, and we'll make sure to address those at the end. All right. A little background of the National Research Mentoring Network, or NRMN. We are a National Institutes of Health, NIH, grant-funded initiative whose entire purpose is to diversify the STEM workforce. NRMN started in 2014, and we have amassed over 19,000 members since we started. Let's go over a couple of announcements before we officially begin. First off, we're excited to announce that our new digital communication strategist, Johnny Garza, starts today. We're so excited to have Johnny on board, and he'll be coordinating NRMN's marketing and communication strategies, and you all will be able to see him on our next month's webinar. Next, we have the Inclusive Research and Teaching for a Diverse Nation Conference, the IRACTA 2021 conference. And Katie Simpson and Damaris Javier will be presenting Mentoring Up and Down, the Mentoring Life Cycle. And this will be on June 28th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. EST. And for more information, we'll send that link out into the chat. And to please visit their website. Next, Damaris Javier and Katie Simpson will also be presenting at the California State University Long Beach Build Institutions Workshop on June 25th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. CST on the power of being a mentee. Next, on July 19th, starting at 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. will be our next How to Leverage the NRMN Network webinar series. We'll be sending the link out to register advance in the chat, so make sure to mark that on your calendars for next month's webinar. Now, let's go over for our agenda for the day. We'll first be covering our NRMN website resources. Then we'll learn how to sign up for our newsletter. Then we'll go over how to access our diversity funding opportunities. And then we'll go over our webinars and YouTube channel. Then Katie will be presenting features on My NRMN, and then we'll leave some room for questions. Now, let's head to nrmnet.net, which will be sending out the link to our chat, our main website. So as you can see here, here's our main website, and a quick announcement that we do want to mention is that we've been in the process of redesigning our website, and our new website will launch in early July. Now, don't worry, all our navigation menus, as you see here, will still remain the same. So you'll still be able to easily get to the pages you need on our site. The main thing that is changing is the look and feel. So we're excited for you all to see this new design. Again, these menus here still remain the same, so you'll be able to get to where you need to go. So moving on forward to get to where you navigate to subscribe to our newsletter. When you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll be able to stay updated on all that's happening in the NRMN community. So first we'll head over to news, and then we'll head over to right here, which says subscribe to the NRMN newsletter, which loads here. So here's a link here. Our June newsletter will be coming out soon. So now is the chance to subscribe, and we'll be putting the link in the chat. So going back, next, let's navigate to our diversity funding opportunities from the news drop-down menu here. Here we'll update any funding opportunities that we hear of, so keep checking this page to discover more, or if you have any opportunities you'd like to post, let us know. So definitely browse through this page and keep updated so you can stay on track with different diversity funding opportunities. Next, we'll head to our YouTube channel where you can access all of our webinars. So here's our main YouTube channel here. Our last professional development webinar focused on best practices for junior investigators when writing an NIH research grant application, as you can see right here. So you can navigate to here and look back on it, as well as all of our others. Another webinar that is on here, our most recent one, is the first one in our unconscious bias course webinar series titled Navigating Microaggressions in Academic Medicine. So we encourage you to view all of these and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we'll be putting the link in the chat now, our main channel here, so you won't miss a webinar upload. Now, I'll be turning it over to Katie Stinson, our virtual engagement strategist, as she'll be taking us through a deep dive on my NRMN.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today. Let me just get my screen shared. All right, so thank you, Gabrielle, so much for that introduction and just the brief overview of the NRMN website. Today, I'm going to be taking that deeper dive into my RMN and actually going through and showing you a few of the key features within here. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of features within my NRMN, so I'm not going to be able to cover everything, but just know that the features in here are things that are exclusive to NRMN members. So if you haven't yet signed up for NRMN, please go ahead and do so that you can access all of these features. And the link to actually join NRMN and access my NRMN has just been put into the chat. So to get us started today, I'm going to start with what I recommend everybody doing whenever they first join my NRMN and come in to see this. I know whenever you see all of these features, it can be a little overwhelming. You see all of our matching algorithm and all the people recommended for you to connect with. So really, I just want you to start with something simple. So think of a very broad term that you would use, a key term for whatever it is you're studying or for whatever way that you want to network with others. So I like to start with something very broad and general, like biology. And from there, and I already know the answer to this because I've done it before, but you'll see that this will yield over 3,000 results within the network. But that's okay because we have filters in here to help narrow down that search and really pinpoint exactly what you're looking for. So I just want to walk through kind of everything that you're seeing here in the search results to kind of just help you filter through this and really narrow it down for your needs and for what you're looking for. So first and foremost, we have all of the results here down the center as they usually do populate. But then within the filters, we can also narrow it down by a type of result. And so we can narrow that down by member, which we can further narrow by that role of mentee, mentor, or general member. We can also narrow it down by group, which goes into this My Groups feature. And that's special interest groups or groups pertaining for societies and that type of thing, or even just, group mentoring as well. All of that can be found in this My Groups. Next, we also have questions, and this pertains to this Ask a Mentor feature. Now, I like to think of this as like a Reddit feed or something where anybody can go in and post a question to the entire My NRMN community, and anyone within the community can come in and respond to that and provide that answer. So you're not just reaching out to only those that you're connected to. You're actually reaching to the wealth of knowledge throughout the entire My NRMN network. Then we also have this journals feature that populates here. And this is for this My Journals and My NRMN journals. So everyone, whenever you join My NRMN, you kind of have your own personal blog space through this My Journals. And now whenever you post something to My Journals, and this can be anything of posting about your goals for an upcoming conference or posting an abstract that you got published that you're really proud of, or just posting your general thoughts and feelings for that particular day. You can post that here. And if you choose to post it privately, it will only show to those that you're connected with. But if you choose to post it publicly, it will populate here in this My NRMN journals and then be searchable within the search fields. Next, you can also filter further by specific institution or by more specific research interest. And this is why I generally advise people to start out with a very broad general topic, because we're going to provide you lots of ways to actually narrow that down further and get more specific with it. Finally, you can also narrow down by location. And something I like to recommend that people do, particularly if you're someone that is about to be transitioning from, undergraduate to grad school, or going from grad school to your first position, and you might be moving or going somewhere new, that you can actually go through and start searching by places where you are about to be and go ahead and generate a network. And that way you can already have that sense of community whenever you get there. But further, beyond all of the ways to filter, there's also lots of little blue buttons next to everybody. So I want to kind of go over these really quickly too. So first and foremost, you can see that everybody has this ask me a question feature next to them. And we added this because we found that a lot of people were really hesitant and just almost intimidated just to come up and request connections from people they've never met. And so we wanted to provide an extra little space for people to come in and just start talking and just ask a question to see if this is someone you want to connect with, or a way to go ahead and just kind of start that conversation between you. So for anybody on here, regardless if you are a mentee or mentor or they are a mentee or mentor, you can start by just asking them a question. Next, you can also reach out and connect with people with whom you're not currently connected. And then finally, we also have this request mentoring. Now, something I want to point out is that I am a mentor in this system, but I can still come in and request mentoring from anybody who is a mentor in the system. Because the way we see it is that people don't just stop needing mentoring once you are once you are settled into your career. We all are constantly going to need mentoring throughout the duration of our career, throughout our education. And it really doesn't matter what level you are, you can always request help from somebody else. And so we see this as being a great way for people to give back and be a mentor, as well as still continue requesting that mentoring from other people. So, and this is just one facet of mentoring in this system. And so I want to show you a little bit about what this one is. So this mentoring, this request mentoring, I like to refer to as a self-structured mentoring. Because in this one, we actually, whoever is the requester is the one who actually initiates how that conversation is going to go, what the duration is, and really how long this mentoring connection is going to last. So what you do is come in and just update your information. We have a CV resume builder, which I'm going to be going over at the end. But you update, make sure everything on file for you is up to date, and then you send a message. And what I recommend is just starting out and saying, hey, this is who I am. This is why I'm looking out to you. This is what I want to achieve. And here is what I'm hoping to gain from you. And so this can be something as simple as, hey, I am a undergraduate student. I am applying for, to submit a poster at an upcoming conference. I can see that you are a professor in biology, and I just would really love your help in knowing what kinds of things I should have on my poster. And, can we have a couple sessions to talk this through? Or I've also had people come to me and say, hey, you know what, I can see that you are well versed in this particular topic. I am not. Can you just be my go-to person for this whenever I need help with it? And so that's what this is. It's self-structured. It's whatever the requester needs is what they can put in here and how they can structure this mentoring connection. So next, after that, I'm going to show you one of our other facets of mentoring. And this is My Mentor. And this is what we have as a guided virtual mentoring. So instead of it being self-structured, this actually provides you the structure that you need to conduct a thorough, culturally aware mentorship. So what everyone does is mentees can come in and select their path and then find a mentor. But what I really want to dive into is how these mentoring connections work. And you can see I've got a couple of them here. I'm going to go ahead and use this test account. So for this one, everybody, whenever you have your mentoring connections set up, you come in and you have 19 goals to get you started, and you are provided all of these up front, so you can go ahead and see what you're going to be working through. But then also we provide all the mechanisms of communication in here for you, so that if you are not comfortable sharing your personal contact information, you don't have to. So you can schedule video calls for the future. If your mentoring partner is online at the same time as you and a real person, then you can hop on a video call right then and there. And if they're not online, you can send them messages, which they'll retrieve later. Or if they are online and you just don't want to do a video call, this will work as an instant messaging function. Then all of the mentoring connections have a general discussion board here, but then there are also going to be discussion boards within your actual goals as well. So how these goals work, and you can see mine are overdue. That is okay. We set it up so that you can keep yourself on schedule, but if you're not able to adhere to that schedule, that's okay. I'll show you how to edit all of that and move all the dates back and all of that kind of stuff to really customize this for your needs. But before we move forward, I just want to show you what these goals are like. So each and every goal has a prompt. Some have a video, some do not. It just depends on that particular goal. And then they all have tasks to accomplish. Now, these tasks are not tangible things that the mentee is expected to turn in, but rather this is a talking rubric to help guide your discussion. And it's expected that both the mentee and the mentor will be participating in this discussion and really having a back and forth dialogue about this. Now, as you're going through this, you'll notice that there are edit buttons next to everything. And so if you need to move the dates back and really change this, that way you're not seeing that goal overdue, then you are welcome to do that. If you look at this and say, you know what, there's some of this that really doesn't pertain to me, let me rewrite it so that way it does, or let me just omit this. You can take all of that out and really make it what you need it to be to get the most out of it for you. And you can do all of that too within the tasks as well. But if there are other things that you want to discuss in the task and really add that to your agenda, you can also add that task here. Finally, within this goal too, and within every goal, there is a discussion board there that's exclusive just to that goal. So that if, say, you do want to, okay, we can go ahead and talk and get to know each other, but I also really need you to review my abstract. I want to get this submitted for a conference. Can you look at this? Let's add that as a task. And then here, I'm going to share that file with you right here. So you can do all of that here and do whatever you need to do, again, to get whatever you need to out of this. And then also so it works well for you and your mentoring partner. So I'm going to go back to the goals. So again, you can work through these, but you also saw, even if it's overdue, you can still go in and work through it. But if that bothers you to see that as being overdue, feel free to change the deadlines. And then also, once you complete all of these goals, you will also receive a certificate of completion for this as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next thing, which is actually our newest, and let's see, it's our newest feature. It's called the jobs and internships. So previously within the My Groups, there was a group that we created called the Opportunity Board. And that's where we would post any sort of opportunities and anybody could come in and post any sort of opportunity there. But something that we were missing from that board was that there were no end dates on there, and there was no exclusive little piece where people could come in and just isolate and flag and tag and do all of that kind of fun stuff for it. And here we've created a space that actually is more similar to a regular jobs board, such as, a Monster or an Indeed. And so with this, anybody can come in and post a job to the jobs board. And something about this too, we recommend everybody creating a My NRMN account, of course, and posting anything that you have in here. But if you are a part of an organization, or people that are a part of an organization that are trying to post jobs and they're not a member, that's okay. Reach out to us and we would be happy to help post this job for you. In fact, you can see from this that I've posted several jobs for other people. So if you have any questions, need any help with this, definitely feel free to send us a message and we can post these there. And actually, I'll put the email address where you can send these into the chat. So you can send us all of those at that info@nrmnnet.net. But what I want to show you also from this is that within each of these jobs, you can come in, and if you want to favorite it, so that way you can come back to it later, you can do that right here and it'll favorite it for you. You can also come in if you want to view it differently and see it this way. You can see what you favorited and then also see the closing date just very easily and see how much longer you have to get your application ready for that. So there are a lot of cool features within this, and we have so many more upgrades and everything that we're going to be doing to this over the next couple of years. So this will continue to enhance and improve and get that much more robust. But if you have ideas for things that would be really useful, definitely feel free to reach out to us, as we have this need help function up here, and you could submit a support ticket, or down at the bottom of every screen, you can also send us feedback too. So next I want to dive into the My Courses. Now, right now we have one course and it's the unconscious bias course. And we are so, so, so proud of this course. We started it at the tail end of July last year. And already since then, it's amassed over 1,000 participants and people who have enrolled in this course. And beyond that, last week we just hosted, as Gabrielle pointed out earlier, we just hosted oh, sorry about this. Um, we just hosted, well, we're just going to let it have its little temper tantrum right now. But last week, we just hosted an unconscious bias webinar series, the first in that series, and it is now on our YouTube channel. So definitely check out that link that's been put into the chat, and you can go in and access that webinar. So next, I'm going to dive into the CV resume builder, because this is actually my favorite feature within the entire network. And I'll tell you why. It's because I actually came from a business world. I came from the world of advertising. And in the business world, you have a one-page resume. That's it. If it's longer than that, you're not getting called. But in the STEM world, it's different. They want you to put every possible thing you can on here and remember every key detail and remember every little thing that you've done and really notate that all within your CV. And that can be really intimidating to think about creating, especially whenever you're first starting in your career. And this walks you through the entire process. So it starts out, and I'm going to point out, I chose to omit several things in here just to show you that this will format even if you omit items from there. But so first and foremost, you can choose to display the profile picture that you have on file with NRMN. Now, some CVs and some applications require that you submit a photo with your CV, others do not. I choose not to display mine. Then you also get to select a color and then fill this in as well as you can. So you'll see here, I've got some stuff listed, some stuff I've got filled out, some stuff I have nothing. Um, and from there, once you get this all filled out to the way that you want it done, click publish. Now, whenever you click publish, you will get this lovely chartreuse bar up at the top, complete with your own unique URL. And that URL will take you to your CV or resume. Now, what I love the absolute most about this is that this URL is going to stay unique to you and to your CV. So whenever you need to make a change to your CV, all you do is make that change, click publish, and your URL stays the same, but the content updates. This means that you can share this URL with anybody and it will stay up to date for anybody as long as you keep updating this. And so what I've seen a lot of people do is actually convert this to a QR code or post this in a PDF somewhere, maybe if they are submitting an abstract or if they are putting on their poster or anywhere that they would want someone to be able to easily access their CV. They can put this link or that QR code and they will be able to access their CV at any point in time. And so that way also you're not constantly making new version after version after version every time you need to make a simple update to your CV. It's all happening in real time through this one URL. And then whoever has access to this URL also has the ability to download a PDF if that's what's needed for whatever application or for whatever you're needing. And you can see I've opened this a few times. But you can see it's formatted slightly differently, but it still has all the content and it still is just very thorough. And everything that I left off of here has already been formatted to omit it. So it's all easily done right there. And you don't have to save, again, version after version after version of it. So next, I want to try one more time to use this My Courses. I'm not sure why it wasn't working earlier, but oh, it looks like it's going there now. So we actually have only one course right now. It's the unconscious bias course. Again, it has really taken off in this past year, and we are so proud of it. And definitely, we will be sending out more information whenever we have the next in our webinar series for the unconscious bias course. But then we're also going to be adding some more courses this summer as well. And it's actually a mentee training course called Launching Research. And it's really helping you launch that research career, which is why you're in NRMN to begin with. But I want to show you how these courses work. And it's a structure where we have multiple modules within each course. And you can see I've already taken it, but where we have multiple modules within each course. And each module in this particular course is about 20 minutes long. So you can see you could finish this up within a day, but then also you can work through modules individually and then come back to them later and then finish the course as needed whenever you're ready. And then whenever you finish the course, you will receive a certificate of completion. which looks something like this. And so with that you can see I finished it a while ago, but you can complete that certificate. What we've actually seen is a lot of people or we've seen a lot of professors actually require that their students take this course and then submit the certificate of completion upon completion, and that way they can get credit for that course as well within their own class. So that is what I had on the agenda for today to go over, but I know we still have some time. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to also dive into that My Groups feature that I spoke of earlier. So like I said, there are a lot of groups in here. So if you were just getting started in My NRMN, I would definitely recommend doing that general search up here to see if there's a group already in place for your special interest, your organization, your idea of group mentoring, or whatever else you could possibly see on here. And if you're not finding what you're looking for, then you are welcome to create a group as well. So everybody, mentees and mentors alike, are able to create new groups. And so I'm going to show you a group that's already been created. And this is the one that I like to use for it. So within each group, you will have your own discussion board. If you upload any images or files, all of that will be automatically archived into this files part. So that way anybody can come in and easily reference those files that were already uploaded. You can also schedule events, which will sync up with the My NRMN calendar. And that way you can share that also with your calendar. But any events here, such as meetings or anything like that, will also go there. You can have multiple owners on the group, and you can change these owners out as needed. So maybe if you were making a group for a chapter of, say, SACNAS at your university, then you can actually change out the head of that chapter each semester, each year as you need. And you can have multiple owners. It doesn't just have to be 2, it can be 10 if you need it to be. And then you can also have your members on here as well. But then something else is that we also give you a group video call feature within this so that you can host your own meetings within here. Now, I want to point out that this is in beta version. So at this time, it does cap at 50 participants. So if you would like to have a call that has more than 50, we do recommend using something of an outside source such as Zoom or Blackboard Learn. But otherwise, you are absolutely welcome to use this video call feature. Now, something else too, if you are the owner of the group or one of the owners, then you also have access to these group metrics. So if you need to report anything back to, say, a funding agency or any sort of annual report, you can definitely come in here and pull your metrics and adjust the timeline too of those metrics in order to really make sure that you're meeting the criteria and supporting what you're doing. Now, I want to show you how easy it is to actually come in and create a group. So whenever you're starting from scratch to create a group, you're going to have this exact same screen. The benefit here is that it's already filled out for you, so you can see the mechanisms of it. But first and foremost, you provide a name for the group, and then you can provide a description if you like. You can also provide tags if you want this to be searchable. And then you can designate your group type. Now, a public group means that anybody can search for it and anybody can join it as they wish. A private group means that nobody can search for it, and the only way people will know that it exists is if they specifically are invited to join that group. We also have invite only, which I actually recommend for people during recruitment seasons for when they can't necessarily allow everyone to join the group, but they want to make sure they get the word out about it. And so this is a way that people can search for this group, but they have to either receive an invite to join, or they have to request and then receive an invite to join. And then we finally have an announcements group, which is very similar to the Facebook fan page in that you subscribe to this, but there is no actual interaction. You'll just see updates in your newsfeed. We also have a public facing page, and you can change the last part of this to be customized for your particular group. You can go ahead and preload any resources in here, which will show up in that files hyperlink. You can also maintain this defaulted enable group notifications. And the great thing about this is you won't receive notifications just for anything that happens. It's only when something is posted to the group that it'll send out a notification for everybody. And then here also is where you would add owners and also members to that group. And then finally, you can upload a single image. This is a compilation of 10 images, but you can't upload a single image into here to actually pose as your group photo. All right, that is the My Group section. We are getting close to time, and I want to make sure that we have time for anybody to ask any questions. So if you do have any questions, definitely feel free to put those into the chat. And so finally, I do just want to kind of take some time to talk about how we are deriving these matches that we're recommending for you. So within all of these, you can see we've got recommendations with the groups as well as with the people up here at the top. Now, this is all derived from our matching algorithm that we utilize within the system. And this is a dynamic algorithm too. So first and foremost, we utilize the profile that you provide to come in and actually generate this algorithm. And that's how it's getting started. And you can see everything with an asterisk next to it is going into that matching algorithm. But then there are some things that we have this little one next to them. And we want to note that all of this stuff are features that are factoring into the matching algorithm, but that we do not display for anybody. And so you can actually see how your profile is going to look just by clicking that button. And that way you can see and make sure that your profile is really as private as you want it to be. Now, something to note that if there are features that we're asking about that, but that we're not displaying, but you think that's something important that you want people to be able to search for, and you want people to recognize in you, you are welcome to add anything you like into this About Me section. And so if it's something that is important to you that you want people to know, and that's how you want people to reach out to you, and that's something that you want them to be able to search for you, then definitely add it in here. But I also recommend this for people that are just starting out in their career education and saying, I started out on this path, but this is what I'm really going for, because that might not be explained just by showing, what your major field of study is. So I definitely recommend using this About Me to not only tell about yourself and what what you feel comfortable sharing, but also to use it as a, what are your goals and what are you looking for in a mentor or mentee? Because everything that you input into here is going to be keyword searchable. And so that way it'll just make it that much easier for people to find you. Now, something else too is that for our mentors, we understand that you are volunteering your time to be here. And so we also know that you have full-time, you likely have full-time jobs, personal lives. You're probably part of an organization or multiple organizations. You're probably chairs of some of those, and you've got a lot going on. And so we know that you are volunteering your time, but we also don't want to be the cause of you feeling overwhelmed. So if you ever just need to take a step back, or if you're going to be out of the office for a bit, if you're taking a sabbatical, please feel free to turn on your out of office. And then this will prevent anybody from being able to reach out and request mentoring from you at that time. And that way it's just setting a good example for the mentees. So that way they're not, just going unanswered, but it is also a way just to make sure that you aren't feeling bad about a time when you can't respond to people as well. All right, I'm not seeing any questions come in yet, so I will give it just one more talk of a feature before we close it out. But if there are any questions that come in that time, I will definitely answer those as well. So next, I know I talked about it a little bit, but I want to show off what it is, this My Journals feature. So so again, this is like your own personal blog space. So you can come in, you can enter a title for it, enter any tags if you want people to be able to search for it, and enter whatever you like and even upload pictures into that. And then this is where you get to decide if you want it to be private, which means it's only going to go out to your connections and post to their news feeds, or you can make it public, which means that it'll post to this My NRMN community. And right there. And so from there, you can see what kinds of things people are putting in here. So this set that's kicking off for this, and this is a new grant writing opportunity. It's a new grant writing program that's coming out. You can see other people are, just posting their personal stories about a fan club for forensic science, or reaching out and asking questions about grant writing. This person posted an abstract here. Others are posting their goals. So you can see there are lots of different things that people post into this space, and you are welcome to utilize this just as your way to really connect with the community and, just engage with the community and see what's going on with it, and give people an opportunity to come in and check out what you're doing too. So, all right, I don't see any questions that have come in, but I want to make sure to thank everybody for their time today. This video will be uploaded to that YouTube channel that was posted into the chat earlier. And again, thank you all for coming and checking us out. If you have any questions whenever you're navigating My NRMN, definitely feel free to reach out to this Need Help, or you can reach out to that info@nrmnet.net, and we'd be happy to help you with anything. So Gabrielle, is there anything else that you would like to mention today?
I believe that covers it. Thank you so much, Katie. Again, we encourage you all to, and we're excited for you all to start using the jobs board to find and post jobs, fellowships, postdocs, positions, and other opportunities. And yes, so our next How to Leverage the NRMN Network webinar is on July 19th at 11 a.m. CST. So you can access it via the link that you used to log in here or the registration link that we provided. Again, yes, just wanted to reiterate what Katie said as well. Thank you all so much for attending this webinar today.